Have you ever had a moment where something small happens? A tone, a look, a message, a delay, a silence, or a change of plans, and suddenly your body reacts without your mind even knowing why. And your chest tightens, your jaw sets, you feel defensive or angry or hurt. You feel like you just need to get away. And only afterwards you think, why did I react like that? It wasn't even that big of a deal. Why can't I just stay calm? We all know that feeling. Very often, being triggered isn't a thinking problem first. It's a nervous system response. And in this video, I want to break down why that happens, why clear thinking can disappear so quickly, and what is happening in the body in those moments. A lot of people hear the word triggered, and they either dismiss it very quickly or they overuse it so much so that it starts to lose its meaning. But if we strip away that buzzword, what we're left with is this. A trigger happens when something lands in the body as a threat. This isn't necessarily a physical threat. It could be an emotional threat, a relational threat, a social threat, or a psychological threat. Being interrupted, feeling dismissed, someone pulling away, uncertainty, conflict, being misunderstood, feeling exposed or criticized, feeling out of control. And suddenly your system changes. It is like the room is the same, but your body is having a different conversation with it. You are no longer listening, you are bracing. You are no longer present, you are protecting. You are no longer responding, you are reacting. That is what being triggered often is. One of the most important things to understand is this. The body often reacts faster than thought. The nervous system doesn't wait politely for your rational mind to sit down and look at the facts and decide how to feel. It is scanning all the time. Tone, expression, pace, intention, distance, uncertainty, any familiar patterns, anything that feels off. And if anything lands as unsafe, the body reacts in an instant. This happens before language, before logic, and before perspective. It's a bit like a smoke alarm in this sense. When a smoke alarm goes off, it doesn't stop and ask itself, wait, let's be rational. Is there really a fire? Maybe we should gather more data. No, it picks up a signal and it goes off. Sometimes the signal is accurate. Sometimes it's oversensitive, and sometimes it's just reacting to burnt toast. But either way, once it goes off, it changes the whole atmosphere, and that is what happens in us too. Sometimes the body is reacting to what is happening now, and sometimes it's reacting to what this moment reminds it of. That's why the reaction can feel bigger than the situation. This current moment is lighting up an old pattern. And people often think, but I should know better. I know this person is not attacking me. I know I'm safe. I know I should stay calm in this moment. Yes, but knowing is not the same as your body feeling safe in real time. And that is the gap. The mind might be saying one thing, the body is saying another thing. And when the system is activated, the body usually ends up winning first. Think of it like this. Your thinking mind is the driver. Your nervous system is the road condition. You can have the best driver, but when the road or the conditions are icy, the car starts to handle differently. This obviously doesn't mean that the driver became worse all of a sudden. It just means that conditions really matter. And when your body reads danger, your internal conditions change fast. So your heart rate may rise, your breathing may shorten, your muscles become tense, your attention narrows, and your system starts to prepare. For some people, this looks like anger. For some people, this looks like anxiety. For some, it looks like people-pleasing, and for some, it looks like shut down completely. Different expressions, same principle. The body is trying to protect. Let's make this real. Let's say someone sends you a message. It's short. It's too short. It reads, "Can we talk later?" That's it, 4 words. And suddenly your body is no longer just reading the message. Your stomach drops, your chest tightens, and your mind starts filling the blanks. What did I do wrong? Did I say something? Did I upset them? Is something bad going to happen? And before you have any real kind of information, the nervous system is already starting to prepare. You become anxious. You start rehearsing the conversation. You might send 3 follow-up messages. You might get irritated and think, well, I could have just said what they meant from the start. Or you might shut down completely and pretend you don't care. But that message wasn't the whole trigger. The trigger was what your body read into it. It's the uncertainty, the possibility of rejection, the possibility of being in trouble. It's the sense that something is coming and you're not ready for it. And that is the part that lands in the nervous system. And this is why triggers can be so confusing, because from the outside it looks like you're reacting to 4 words on the screen, but on the inside your nervous system is reacting to a whole history of what those 4 words have meant before. This is one of the most important things to understand. A trigger is really about the moment in front of you. It's about what this moment represents. A short message, in this case, might represent rejection. A sharp tone might represent criticism. Someone going quiet might represent disconnection. A change of plans, a loss of control. Conflict might represent danger. So when someone says you're overreacting, they're often only seeing the surface. They don't see the match or the dry grass. Because often the moment itself seems very small. But the thing is that it lands on a nervous system that has already built a whole story around a moment like this. It responds to the meaning it perceives, and that's why something can look minor on the outside but feel enormous on the inside. Now this is where it gets really practical. When your body perceives threat, the system doesn't prioritize wisdom or nuance or perfect communication. It prioritizes protection. That means your internal world shifts very quickly. Your tone shifts, your muscles prepare, and your ability to listen to someone else drops significantly. And your mind starts looking everywhere for evidence that confirms that this threat is real. So instead of thinking there must be another explanation, you think, I knew it. Here we go. I need to defend myself. I need to fix this now, or I need to get the hell out of here. It's like trying to read a book while someone is banging pots next to your head. Technically, you can still see the words, but you're in no state to take them in clearly. That is why conversations can go wrong so quickly when 2 people are triggered. Nobody is really listening anymore. Both people are defending. And then we wonder why a conversation starts spiraling. And not everyone looks triggered in the same way. Some people get louder, some people get quieter. Some fight, some flee, some fawn, some freeze. For one person, being triggered looks like snapping back. For another, it looks like over-explaining because silence is just too unbearable. For another, it looks like going blank because they just cannot find the right words. And for another, it just looks like smiling and saying, no, it's fine, while their whole body is screaming that it's not. And this matters because for a lot of people, dysregulation is only recognized when it looks very dramatic. But sometimes the most dysregulated person in the room is the one that looks the most composed. They are just the ones that learned very quickly how to quietly leave their bodies. A useful way to understand this is to think of your nervous system as a guard dog. Its job is to notice what feels off and to react quickly. And this can be really helpful because it protects you. But if this guard dog has learned that the world is unpredictable, critical, and unsafe, it will stop barking before there's an actual threat. A stranger at the gate, a leaf in the wind, a noise in the dark. These things aren't necessarily bad, but it has learned that it has to stay alert. And for many people, this is what triggered living feels like. The body has learned to protect itself very quickly. So when something familiar happens, a tone, a silence, a certain expression or a message, that guard dog wakes up. And once it starts barking, it's very difficult to have a calm and logical discussion in your own head. And this is why telling yourself to just calm down doesn't work. You're trying to negotiate with the dog that thinks its house is under attack. First, the system needs to feel safer, and then thinking can come back online. And if you don't understand this, you will keep making this a character issue. You'll judge and tell yourself, I'm too emotional, I'm too sensitive, I'm too reactive, I'm bad at conflict, I always ruin things, I should be over this by now. But those thoughts usually create more shame, and shame rarely makes the nervous system feel safer. A better question is not, what is wrong with me? A better question is, what did my nervous system just perceive? That question changes everything, because now you're not excusing that behavior, you're becoming curious about what is actually underneath it. And that's where real change starts, not with self-attack, but with self-awareness. When you're triggered, the first job is not to become perfectly calm. It's not to deliver the most emotionally mature sentence of your life. It's not suddenly becoming the Dalai Lama with better boundaries and a regulated jaw. That would be nice, but usually, no. The first job is much simpler. It's just to notice your state. Name it if you can. I am activated right now. My body is reacting. I am not fully clear. I need a moment before I respond. That small pause matters because in that pause, the automatic chain begins to break. And then we support the body. Feel your feet on the floor. Unclench your jaw, relax the shoulders, extend your exhale. Look around the room and just orientate to where you are. Remind your body, this is now. You are not trying to force calm, you are just giving your nervous system some new information. Let's go back to that message of earlier. Can we talk later? Maybe your body reacts instantly, that old pattern starts up again. Your mind starts building a full courtroom case with zero evidence. But this time, you notice it. You notice your stomach drop. You feel your shoulders tense. You notice the speed in your thoughts. You notice that urge to chase, defend, fix, or withdraw. And instead of immediately responding from this state, you pause, you breathe, maybe you put your phone down for a minute. You might reply, sure, let me know what time works for you. Or, yes, just let me know what this is about when you have a moment. Or maybe you just wait until you feel a bit clearer or think a bit clearer. And that is regulation. You still feel triggered, but you notice that trigger before it could take the wheel. And that is the work. It's not about becoming untouchable. It's about becoming aware enough to choose what happens next. If there's one thing to take from this video, it's this. The body reacts first, and the mind follows with the story. And once you understand that, you can start to meet yourself differently. Not with shame, not with why am I like this, but with curiosity. What did my body just perceive? What meaning did this moment carry? And what does my nervous system need in order to return? This doesn't mean that every reaction is justified. It doesn't mean that you'll never need to apologize, repair, or take responsibility. It simply means that real change doesn't happen by hating the reaction. It starts with understanding the state that created it. And slowly, practice by practice, breath by breath, you build the ability to return to your body, to return to your clarity, to return to your steadiness. This won't happen perfectly, and probably not all the time if I'm being honest, but it will start happening more often. And that changes how you live, relate, work, and lead. If this resonated, let me know in the comments what tends to trigger you fastest. Maybe it's a tone, maybe it's some silence, criticism, feeling dismissed. It's all about starting to build the awareness and understanding what our system is protecting us from. And if you're here for more grounded conversations on nervous system regulation, yoga, breath, and resilience, join for the next video.